What it do, my good peeps? It's your girl Liz. I'm back one more again with another video. And this time I want to tell y'all what your girl read in the month of April. This is an April wrap up. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I felt like April was a little dry with the reading, but I'm hopeful that it'll get better in the next month. So first up, I want to start with my most favorite book of the month. Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. Sis did that. She did that. It's a fantasy book if you're interested or curious. It starts out with the main character. She snooping out on her stepmom doing demonic, evil, demon magic. And so she tried to go tell her brothers, it's six of them now, you get where it's going? And her daddy, but the stepmom banishes them from the land and turns the brothers into six crimson cranes. And so main character got to figure out how to break the curse so she can get back to her family. It was on point to me. It's given 4.5 stars, if not a 5-star. On point. Next up, I got Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. Got this book from Goodwill for $1, if that. I would give this book 3 stars. It is kind of heavy material because sometimes you don't want to read about black and white supremacists all the time. But I was curious about this book because I had heard about this a lot. Well, not a lot, but I've heard about it more than a few times and it made me curious. So basically this book is about a black nurse who gets sued by a white supremacist couple for killing their baby. Hospital's not even on her side. She got to go to trial. It's just a whole big old mess, child. A big old mess. Something that they will probably make a movie about because you know they like making movies about this type of stuff. Next up, I have The Other Woman by Sandy Jones. I would give this 3 stars. It starts out too slow for me. But the book is about a woman who is newly engaged and she's competing with her fiance's mom. They compete for his attention. They compete for his affection and his love. And the fiance tries to tell her fiance and he doesn't really believe her. He takes his mom's side. So it's a big old mess. I kept saying woo child throughout this entire book. Next up, I have Yinka, Where Is Your Husband by Lizzie Blackburn. 2 stars. I think for me, it was the character development. I thought that it was good in the beginning, decent enough, but then I started to get annoyed. And then I wanted to know what was up. And then I forced myself to read, which I always tell people never to do. But I wanted to know what was up with Yinka. No. Next up, I have The House of Eve. This was my book club choice by Sadika Johnson. Sadika Johnson is that girl to me. But this book did not live up to what Yellow Wife did. I would give this 3.5 stars. I really like the way Sadika writes, but it did get slow for me. And at one point, I wanted to read more about one girl than the other. So this book is told from a dual perspective. One girl who's in high school, she starts interacting with an individual that she's not supposed to. They end up getting pregnant. And so the other girl, she marries into money. So she goes through her struggles of what it's like dealing with people that treat her as if she's lower than, beneath them. So their 2 stories are very interesting and they kind of cross paths at some point in the book. I felt like the ending was very fast paced and I felt like that momentum should have been the same throughout the novel, which is why it gets a 3.5 to me. But I think, again, I'm still loyal to Sadika, so I would read anything by her going forward. Next up, I have All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. I would give that book 3 stars. It starts out as someone trying to figure out who murdered whom. And so the main character ends up being a suspect, and in the process, secrets throughout her entire life start getting exposed. And I just felt like it was okay. A Court of Mist and Fury. Y'all, this book really pissed me off. 2 stars. I really had high hopes. It's a fantasy, and I'm really a fantasy girl, but it was not given the way that I thought it should have gave. What was that? Like, what was that? I felt like the ending was so bomb.com, but why can't you keep that momentum throughout the entire book? I honestly felt so bored. I also forced myself to read this one as well. It was just not for me. I probably will not continue with the series because I would rather be super duper engaged by a book. Next up, You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. Don't know how to pronounce the author's name, but easily 2 stars for me. It started out good, and then I'm like, where the hell are you going with this? It's not what I expected. It just, I just can't. 2 stars. The main character, she has experienced death. Her spouse died, right? So she's trying to get back into the dating game, and then from there she just starts trauma bonding, and it's just a big old hot ass mess, and I just didn't like it. That's me personally. Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. I would give that 3 stars. It's about a young teenage boy who becomes a dad of 2 young babies before the age of 18, and so he's trying to figure out his way, transitioning from not selling drugs to actually working a regular job to support his family and to do what he needs to do to be a better person. And I thought it was an okay read, decent read. Next up, I have, what's next? Someone We Know by Shari Lapina. I also would give this book 3 stars. It's a murder mystery. Someone from the neighborhood is murdered, and they're all getting interviewed by the detectives to figure out who murdered who, and it was just all right. Just something to read, something to do. It was just okay. Honestly, I think that was it. I think for me, again, April was kind of like just okay, like a decent reading month. I really want May to be filled with like 4.5 to 5-star readings, because why not? I can't even blame the authors because they probably putting their best foot forward, and I'm over here judging them harshly. But I want to read something that's going to knock my socks off. Is that too much to ask for? But anyway, y'all let me know if y'all read some of my books. Like, let me know what you gonna read. Like, let me know how y'all choose y'all books too. Like, let me know something, because I'm looking for them 5 stars. I'm looking for them 5 stars. I'm looking for them 5-star reads. But anyway, y'all, like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell your uncle, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, them about it. And I'll see y'all at my next video.